In this era of globalization, there are many things happen in many cultures, which can dispute between other culture. There are many people who doesn't know or understanding about what is intercultural communication. Intercultural communication is one of aspects that we should know and care about it. This is an important thing that we should practice in our daily life. Without this communication between culture can be happen, and it will make our country in worse situation. Intercultural means existing or happening between different cultures, while communication is the activity or process of expressing ideas and feelings or of giving people information. Intercultural communication refers to the communication between people from two different cultures, which is a symbolic, interpretive, transactional, contextual process in which people from different cultures create shared meanings and the effect on communication behavior when different cultures interact together. We can know that every people and country have different culture. Not all people practice the same culture. If we don't know the culture, it can give us a problem. There are many differences in culture, such as in wedding ceremony, religion, country law, the practices of each race and other else. An example, in Malaysia, we have many races that have their own culture like Malay, Chinese and Indian. By that, it's very important to us know what other races practicing their culture and what we cannot do in their culture to show some respect, so we can maintain harmony between other culture in our country to make a peaceful country without war.
The case study is about the Sri Mahariamman Temple Riot that occurred over 2 days on November 26 and November 27, 2018 at the seafood Sri Mahariamman Temple site. This happened because of misunderstanding between the temple and the developer, One City Development Sdn Bhd, about the temple's relocation. The first riot was on November 26, 2018. The Subanjaya District Police Headquarters (IPD) Operations Room got a contact from the public regarding the ruckus event at the temple at about 2:40 a.m. Then, the Subanjaya District Police Chief immediately ordered the police to the location after receiving the complaint. 4 police multi-purpose vehicles (MPVs) arrived at the area at about 2:50 a.m. but were denied entry by a group of Indian males. The action damaged the back window of one of the arriving MPVs, and a trailer truck was placed horizontally to obstruct the path leading to the shrine. The first riot broke out when a battle started out within the temple between temple devotees and a bunch of Malay thugs who stormed the temple premises, leaving some critically hurt. However, following the confrontation, several of the thugs escaped the temple grounds. Shortly after the event, the Hindus participating set fire to numerous vehicles, thought to be owned by the Malay Men's Organization. There were a total of 18 vehicles on fire. Then, firefighters arrived at the location at about 5 a.m. to put out the fire. The FARAH squad came to the site at 5:30 a.m. to put an end to the ruckus. The second riot happened when the crowd then reassembled in the late afternoon of November 26, resulting in a second rioting in the early hours of November 27, which was joined by around 10,000 Indians. Several additional vehicles were set on fire by protesters throughout the violence. Then, around 2 a.m., a gang of protesters attacks the developer's facilities at Mahariamman City, about 1 kilometer from the temple, inflicting damage and fire on many cars. A scan surrounding the temple and the developer's premises at 9 a.m. revealed that the situation had cooled down and was under control as promised by Selangor Police Chief Datuk Mazlan Mansor. Around 10:45 p.m., some 80 Malays gathered and marched toward the main road in front of the temple. Despite the fact that the police had built a fortress to halt their approach and contain the group, they were ultimately given the order to disperse. Police apprehended 9 males who joined the gathering after they refused police instructions to disperse. And then the situation around the temple was brought under control, and police proceed to look for the culprits involved in order to aid in the inquiry into the reason for the rioting. Then Muhammad Adik bin Muhammad Qasim, a fireman located at the Subang Jaya fire station, was also seriously injured during the second riot. Adik was one of 9 witnesses to the second temple riot who were attacked when they came into the area to put out the fire, and he was the only one who was beaten by a gang of unknown rioters.
Next is 11. Intercultural communication. Communication is an important in everyday life. Communication is one way to integrate society in a country. The first one, communication in Malaysia, can be known as intercultural communication because society in Malaysia live with a multiracial society. 3 races in Malaysia, which is Malay, Chinese and Indian. Malay has its own custom such as person's way of thinking. Chinese known for its unique custom and taboos. Indian known to be characterized by high cultural diversity. The second point is communication is one of the ways to integrate society in a country. Our topic is related between Malay and India, which is disagreement between them and causes a big fight. Malays do not know the custom of Indians in terms of their worship, showing their lack of communication. The point that can related is misunderstanding among races about the riot between 2 groups of Indian. It is kumpulan kuil and kumpulan pemaju. The move of the legend temple at Selangor, and it shows no unification even in the race.
Next is the riot should not happen easily as they have similar thoughts. The incident as we know, the riot involved the 2 groups of Indian about moving 140 old temple. The incident became worse that caused a death Muhammad Adik, a Malay Muslim fireman, and some cars also destroyed because they cannot control themselves. It just shows that there are lack of understanding and harmony between the 2 groups even in the same race. So logically they should have a discussion about moving process before the incident happens. And next is concern between races, even different culture. An Indian witnessed and obstruct the fireman Muhammad Adik to not enter the temple. It may be perhaps because he or she know their culture well, and like some Indian are hot tempered and everything can be happen in such situation. He or she still try to protect him even they are not from the same race and religion, and it just shows that there are still a lot of people have the unity and humanity out there. And the last element is some people do not have interest in study others' rules, such as an Indian and Hindus have their own way to enter the temple, and Muhammad Adik also does not have enough knowledge about temples entering. That led anger in Indian that led anger that may cause his death. And people should improve common knowledge about other religion and races rules, and need to know those rules before going to other places praying to prevent such situation repeat again in the future. Yes.
Briefly to conclude, intercultural communication is incredibly important, so the problem like this temporary case will not be repeated in the future. For instance, intercultural communication also important to breaking down cultural barriers and building awareness of cultural norms, as well as enhancing self-awareness and communication skills. Moreover, intercultural communication offers the ability to deal across and prevents potential conflicts in the country and for resolving them. Different approaches must be implemented to ensure good intercultural communication. For that, we need to find a different approach, and it is not difficult to achieve it. Based on the cause of conflict between these two religions, it can be seen that it occurs among people who do not understand other religions better. Therefore, interfaith seminars or dialogues need to be organized regularly to provide a deeper understanding of various religions of the community, especially communities that are in the conflict. In this context, general subjects such as Islamic and Asian civilization course as well as ethnic relation course can be compulsory course for public and private university, even though in school also. So students can be learn this intercultural communication in Malaysia. Everyone should honor regardless of cultural differences and respect each other's religions differences without causing conflict. With that, the community can guarantee peace and security so that everyone can live comfortably.